Hey, what's up, guys? Zach Attack back here again in the home theater. This is another one of my little experiments in content creation. For those of you just tuning in or have watched one of these videos of mine before, I'm not trying to become a serious YouTuber or anything. It's just the idea of content creation and making these types of videos has always fascinated me. I watch a ton of them all the time, and so it's kind of giving me the bug to kind of experiment a little bit and just see what it's like on this side of things and do my own versions of unboxings and openings and stuff like that, or other types of content creation. You'll see it with some of the wrestling videos that I produce, some like the interview videos and stuff. Look for a compilation soon here on my YouTube channel of some of the Indiana Powerhouse Wrestling backstage interviews I've done, just because it's always nice to have that highlight reel up there of different things you've done. But today it is wrestling content, but it's a wrestling RPG. For those that don't know, I actually do enjoy playing the odd tabletop game now and then, and I have found a wrestling game that I really enjoy playing because it can be played with friends. It can also be played solo to simulate matches, so to speak. It's from a company called Filsinger Games, and they make a few different subsets of this wrestling card and dice game. They do Legends, they do fantasy creations, and they also do independent wrestlers. And they've done it for a very long time. They've been in the game for a very long time. If I keep glancing off to the side, I'm glancing at my little screen here, monitoring, making sure everything looks okay. But the way the game works is, you each pick a character, you and your opponent, and one rolls for offense, one rolls for defense, and you can reverse and pin and hit big moves and build drama in the match as increase based on your dice rolls. I got a few cards here on my table here. These are from ones I already had to show some of these. So like I said, they do Legends. So I've got like Macho Man Randy Savage here, and I'll show on this camera like some of his information. But see, that's all it is. It's just simple. And you can get more detailed. There's advanced rules and stuff, but if you want to just play it basic, it's very easy. Pick up and play. But I've got like Macho Man. Here are the British Bulldogs, Ted DiBiase. Got the Road Warriors here. I like that the Road Warriors card like kind of has that combined art style. And then like here's some of the people they've made on the Indies sets. Kevin Steen, now Kevin Owens in the WWE when he was Ring of Honor World Champion. Bryan Danielson, the current AEW champion. Will Ospreay when he was younger. I really like the artwork, by the way, on all these cards. They're all done by the same artist, so they're kind of uniform. Kenny Omega has got a card, see it on the table here, Kenny Omega. So these are some of the cards I already had for the Filsinger Wrestling Games card and dice game, but I have gotten a nice little package here. I've blocked out my address because I think enough people already know where I live as it is, and so in this package is a big order of cards I placed of indie cards. Both current indie cards, like their 2024 Best of the Indies and 2024 Best of Tag Teams. And I also got some older indie sets that have a bunch of names in them of characters and wrestlers that are in like WWE, AEW, TNA, NXT, all those types of promotions. So a lot of these are guys that have gone on to become big names, or some of them might still be on the indies. This was a little gift for myself. For those that don't know, in my personal life, my daily gig as a radio DJ, it was recently announced that I am a finalist for 2 awards. I find out on October the 15th if I get those, Radio Personality of the Year and Best Sports Play-by-Play. So this was basically my little gift to myself to celebrate the milestone achievement, and we're going to unbox this, open this up, and check out my new cards all together. So I will slice this package open. I've got my scissors here. I have unfortunately lost my favorite unboxing knife. It has been located. It has been located. That's good. I just have not had the opportunity to reclaim it from the place that I lost it. It's never a good thing when your sister sends you a picture of your knife that she found, that your niece found in your couch, by the way, and then said, "Hey, is this yours?" Because your niece found it. I'm like, "Yeah, that's mine. Please keep it safe and don't let the kiddo play with it." Anyway, here we go. Unboxing. We're gonna just dump some of these out here. Oh, they are all See some names already that are very familiar to wrestling fans. That's all the cards out of the packages, and let's start to go through some of these. So one of these sets was based on Evolve, former indie promotion, Evolve Wrestling, and it looks like this one actually came with a guide of some of the characters and bios for if there were maybe some that you did not know, who some of these people are, some of these characters were. I wasn't even aware of all of the cards that were in the Evolve set, but here we are. Like this is how thick the stack is of cards I got. You can see it on the top-down view. This is what I'm going to go through here, and so we will check these out together, and we'll start with the Evolve set. We've got Johnny Gargano, member of DIY and the WWE. I've got stuff everywhere from opening of that package. So we've got Johnny Gargano from DIY. I have met him. Love Johnny Gargano. The Kentucky Gentleman, Chuck Taylor of AEW fame. A very young Ricochet, the future of Flight. Young Ricochet, very cool. And see, like, again, all these characters on the back, they've got different charts for offense and defense. Like I said, if you get the chance, look it up. Phil Singer Games, worth checking out. AR Fox, and give you an idea of how old this set is. This is 10 years old. It's dated 2014 based on the artwork. Rich Swann, who has been in TNA. Uhaa Nation, a.k.a. the current Apollo Crews in the WWE. I remember, fun story about Uhaa Nation. I was at the Dragon Gate USA show, which was related to Evolve, where he made his debut in Indianapolis. He had a tryout that day, impressed them enough that they put him on the show. He ended up blowing everybody away. Uhaa Nation, absolutely love that dude. A.k.a. now he is Apollo Crews in WWE. Drew Gulak, he spent some time in the WWE. Oni Lorcan, this is when he was Biff Busick on the indies. Absolutely love Oni, so I love the fact that I've got his card. The Bravado Brothers, Lancelot and Harlem Bravado. I did not know that these two guys were in this set. The Bravado Brothers. One of them would be very familiar to WWE fans if he had on a red sweatshirt and he had a goatee. One of the Bravado Brothers went on to become Andre Chase in NXT. And so it's funny that his old self would pop up in one of these sets. Like I said, I didn't know everybody that was in some of these sets, and I love the fact that I've got some of these guys now. Trent Beretta of AEW fame, one of the former best friends. His former best friend teammate, Chuck Taylor, was earlier in the set, so I've got a complete set of the best friends. Why is this guy's name escaping me? The face is familiar, and I feel like as soon as I flip this card and I see the guy's name, I'm going to have the aha moment. John Davis, yes. Spent some time in Ring of Honor. Loved watching that dude on the indies. I know this guy, the premier athlete, Tony Nese. He was in the WWE, now in AEW. Caleb Conley, I'm familiar with him. This isn't Veda, is it? Is it? No, Su Yung. Okay. I don't know why that artwork made me think Veda Scott, but Su Yung, she's been in TNA as like an undead style character. Su Yung. And then Larry Dallas, a manager card for Larry Dallas. Like there's even manager cards. I'll flip this over a bit so you can take a look at this. So manager cards do have like different things where you can roll dice and do something involving the match, which is pretty cool. Larry Dallas. Guy had a short-lived podcast called On the Scene with Larry Dallas. I voiced the open for it. I might have edited the podcast too. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. But I've done some work with Larry Dallas before, is my point. Long-time friend of a friend is good old LD. So let's move on to another one of these sets. This is another one of the Evolve sets. Again, familiar names. There's the former Walter, a.k.a. now Gunther in the WWE. Timothy Thatcher, he spent some time in the WWE as well. This is when they were a team, Imperium, or it's Imperium now. They did call themselves Ringkampf back in the day. That's the artwork that's behind both of them. Currently DJZ in the WWE. Or not DJZ. Why is his name? Joaquin Wilde in the WWE, but the former DJZ. This guy I know. Austin Theory. Big time in the WWE right now. Former champion, United States champion, and tag team champion. Very successful. It's been fun watching this dude's evolution because I was watching Evolve at the time that all these guys were in Evolve. I watched the entire history of Evolve until that promotion closed down. So like all these guys, I know. Like I've watched them and everything, and I love doing that kind of stuff. This is Dominic Greeny, right? Yeah, Dominic Greeny. Just double checking some of these names to make sure I'm saying them right. Part of a tag team with Kevin Koo on the Indies that I absolutely love. So if you ever get the chance to look up Dominic Greeny and Kevin Koo, great tag team. Matt Riddle, the King of Bros, bro. The Workhorsemen, JD Drake and Anthony Henry. These dudes have been in AEW on and off, and I absolutely love both these guys. I love old school tag team wrestling. I'm a huge fan of tag team wrestling, so I love getting tag team sets in this game to play tag team matches, and I love the fact that I now have the Workhorsemen, one of my favorite indie tag teams, in this game. We'll keep this moving along. This is a more recent set. This is the Best of the Indies 2023. I did not pick up this set last year. I wanted to, and now I've gotten around to it because there are some names in this set that I really want to check out. Richard Holiday, the AirPod God. This dude I really would love to see get a bigger opportunity on a bigger stage. I think he definitely deserves it, and I hope he does get that shot one day because I love me some Richard Holiday. Kerry Morton, the son of the legendary Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express. Third generation star there. We've got Alan Angels, the former number 5 from the Dark Order in AEW. Dude's absolutely been killing it on the indies. So I love having an Alan Angels card. Another dude that's been killing it on the indies, Starboy Charlie. He's made a couple of appearances in AEW as well. Starboy Charlie. Great card to have. This guy right here is a dude, Titus Alexander. This guy needs to be on TV. This guy needs to be on national TV like now. Like, love Titus Alexander. Love watching the dude. This guy, Michael Oku, one of my brother's favorite wrestlers. He absolutely loves Michael Oku. From the first time I showed him a Michael Oku match, he's like, all right, yep, that's my boy. That's one of his favorites, Michael Oku. So I'm probably going to have to fight my brother for that card. He's probably going to want to play as Michael Oku all the time. And then we round out this set with a couple of luchas, Aries and Aramis. Great luchas, and I really enjoy watching these guys. First time I really saw these guys was one of the WrestleMania weekend shows. For those that don't know, I binge watch all the WrestleMania weekend shows that I can. These guys were on a bunch of them one year, and they really blew me away. So I love Aries and Aramis. So I love the fact that I've got both of them to add to my wrestling card game. This is Best of the Indies Tag Teams, right? Yeah, Best of the Indies Tag Teams for 2024. And right on the top here, this is literally the reason why I bought this set. Grit your teeth. It's the Grizzled Young Veterans, James Drake, Zach Gibson. I have been a fan of these dudes for so long because I used to watch a lot more UK Indies than I do these days. And when I did watch on a regular basis before NXT UK and all that kind of stuff, I loved these guys. James Drake, Zach Gibson, the GYV, Grizzled Young Vets, Grit Your Teeth. This is literally the reason why I bought this particular set, was just so I could have these two dudes. We also got the former Sanity in here as well. Axel Tischer, and I believe I said that correctly. And Big Damo in this as well. The Axeman and Big Damo. Love having cards for these guys. And these are officially licensed cards too. So like the wrestlers get, royalties and stuff. These are a couple of Samoans, Juicy Finau and also Lance Anoa'i. They are a tag team on the Indies, and I get to now add them to my Indie tag team game. And finally, a couple of guys that, again, I watched them a bunch on the British Indies when I did watch them, and now they're a tag team, the Sunshine Machine. They are the team of Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper, and absolutely love watching these dudes. Great tag team, the Sunshine Machine. And we got, what, 4 more sets to go, and we're 50. Well, that rubber band broke. Guess I don't need that no more. I think everybody knows who this guy is. The guy that's going to get his butt kicked by CM Punk in Hell in a Cell in a couple of weeks. Drew McIntyre. This is when he was Drew Galloway. I did not realize I was getting another card of Timothy Thatcher. So I've got a tag team and singles card for Timothy Thatcher. Very cool. Very cool. Roderick Strong. I would yell his name like he tends to on AEW TV, but my dog is sleeping over there and I don't want to wake her up. So Roderick Strong, absolutely love it that I get a Roderick Strong card. Chris Hero, that young knockout kid, Chris Hero. I like his card is kind of landscape, kind of sideways here. Very cool. Chris Hero, like having him. Zack Sabre Jr., hopefully your next IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. ZSJ. I bet he's going to be a fun one to play with. Tommy End, a.k.a. Aleister Black. Like I said, a lot of these cards I got, heavy hitter names in terms of people that are in like WWE, AEW, TNA, that type of thing. I've been a Tommy End fan. I've been a fan of this dude long before everybody knew him as Malachi Black. So I love the fact that I finally have got the Tommy End card. And we've got the Darewolf, PJ Black, and we round things out with SoCal Val, who I think is another manager card. Yeah, she's a manager card like the Larry Dallas card was, so she can be used as a manager for different wrestlers and get different perks and advantages during matches. We've got, I think this is the last Evolve set. Yeah, this is the last of the Evolve sets. Of course, everybody knows this guy, Darby Allin, with his coffin drop. Darby Allin, the current NXT champion, all ego, Ethan Page. When he was on the Indies, he and Darby had a lot of great matches together in Evolve. If you get the chance, definitely recommend checking it out. Jeff Cobb, much younger Jeff Cobb, part of the United Empire right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Mr. Athletic Jeff Cobb. The Dirty Daddy, Chris Dickinson. One of my favorite dudes on the Indies. Absolutely love Chris Dickinson. Jaka, who is frequently the partner of Chris Dickinson on the Indies. Again, I'm kind of flying through these. But like I said, highly recommend. If you get the chance, check out Phil Singer Games, Wrestling Card and Dice Games. Peter Casa, this is a guy I'm not as familiar with. This guy, though, I know, Jason Kincaid. Great high flyer. Keith Lee. Big Bad Keith Lee. I believe that's just a placeholder. But Keith Lee. Limitless Keith Lee. Glad to finally have an official card of Keith Lee to add to my Wrestling Card and Dice Game collection. One more old indie set with some familiar names. Sami Callihan. This is a CZW set. I got this because I was never a huge CZW fan. I'm not like the biggest deathmatch guy. But I got this because the characters in it, the wrestlers are in this set. A lot of them are ones I'm very familiar with and I'm really big fans of and wanted cards of, like Sami Callihan. I've met Sami, great dude. Seen him live a bunch of times, so Sami Callihan, glad to have him. Of course, this dude, everybody knows him, one of the top stars in AEW, MJF, better than you, and you know it. This is a young MJF when he was in CCW. Speaking of big stars, they don't get much bigger these days than whose house? Swerve's house. This is young Swerve, Shane Strickland, in CZW. Glad to have an official Swerve Strickland card for my indie game. This is Ace Romero, very big dude, 365 pounds. these two are gentlemen that I'm not as familiar, because like I said, I didn't watch a ton of CZW. These guys were probably more CZW main stage. Dave McCall, Nate Carter, not as familiar with them. I apologize if anybody is offended, but I'm the rep, and a lot of CZW is kind of a blind spot for me. This guy, though, not a blind spot. This guy, not a blind spot. Kid Lycos, Chris Brooks, CCK, the Calamari Catch Kings. Absolutely another one of those British tag teams I loved watching. And they were one of the main reasons why I got this set, to have Chris Brooks and Kid Lycos in my game card collection. And now we get to the final set, which is Indies 2024 Men Best Of. We've got the Prize City OG Alec Price, who I think this kid's on the verge of blowing up. He should be blowing up. Like I said, I do watch a lot of indie wrestling, and so I see a lot of these talents, and I love watching them and seeing who's on the come up. And I think the Prize City OG Alec Price, and like I said earlier, Titus Alexander, two guys everybody should be keeping an eye on. But that's my opinion. Thrill Billy, this dude is on NWA a lot. Silas Mason, or was on NWA. I haven't been watching Billy Corgan's NWA that much, but I know that Thrill Billy was on there for a while. Hoodfoot, a familiar name, from Indianapolis, Indiana, by way of Chicago, Illinois. Got to shout out my indie guys, as in like Indianapolis indie guys, not just like indie wrestlers. Francisco Akira, the next card. He is in the United Empire, part of Will Ospreay's faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, Will's kind of left that behind, but he's still in the United Empire. So glad to have a Francisco Akira card. This is Man Like DeReiss. Man Like DeReiss, saw him for the first time this year's WrestleMania weekend. Really impressed by Man Like DeReiss. Really enjoyed watching him. So glad to have him in my collection. Leon Slater. This is Hunter Drake. Again, a guy I'm not as familiar with. Hunter Drake. And then the last card in the set is Daniel Makabe. A name I've heard a few times. I've seen a few times. And very cool to have him as part of the collection as well. So that is the stack. I'll show it off here again. The literal stack to go with the rest of my stack of wrestling card and dice games. If you get the chance, check it out. Phil Singer Games. Highly recommend checking them out. They do great stuff, great cards, great characters. Like I said, they sign these deals with these guys, so they're actually licensed cards. If you're a fan of the old school stuff, their Legend sets are incredible. The few cards I showed earlier is just the tip of the iceberg. I have a ton of them. I've got a whole box full of these game cards because I love this game. I love playing this game, and so glad to have some new guys to add to my collection. So I think it's time for me to go sim some matches. So until next time, I'll see you around.